The Democratic Alliance elects its provincial leadership in Gauteng today. The conference is taking place in Boksburg, Ekurhuleni, and Msimanga and Khume Ramulifho are gunning for the position of provincial leader, with Msimanga looking to retain his position. Meanwhile, contesting for provincial chairperson are incumbent Fred Nell and Katlego Matebe. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Boksburg and he joins us now. Good afternoon to you and thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we saw the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, earlier on very emphatic, saying that the blue wave is coming your way, and even speaking to the Premier of Gauteng, saying that the picture is going to be different for the ANC. They will find themselves in the opposition benches come next year. Aviwe?
Definitely, it's the blue wave that's much talked about here. Even Helen Ziller touching on the two options that South Africans will have going forward. That's the blue of the Democratic Alliance, as well as the red of the economic freedom fighters. So suggesting that people must make the right choice in taking the country forward. Sort of the rhetoric that's been shared here, of course. But just moments ago, just before 1 o'clock, we heard the two candidates for the leader position just give their final speeches, trying to convince the 961 delegates here on why they should vote for them as the DA leader in the province of Gauteng, the economic hub. And of course, that's the very leadership that will then take the party to the 2024 elections. And we've heard the much talked about Moon Pact here, that the DA, in fact, will be sitting on just a week from now, the official first convention of that Moon Pact. The parties that the DA, along with those parties, want to unseat the ANC. But joining me now is the two candidates for the party's provincial chairperson. One, Katlego Matebe, wanting to outseat the outgoing chair, Fred Nell. Let's start with Katlego Matebe. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. The 3 years of leadership under Fred Nell, maybe let's reflect on that firstly. Why do you want to unseat him?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the listeners. In the DA, when there's an opportunity to contest during a Congress, it's not about unseating the current person. The term comes to an end and it's up to the income, is up to the opportunities that is presented to all of us who wish to take the party forward. It is for that reason that we always emphasize equal opportunities for all and fit for purpose. So when you know that you've got the requisite skills, knowledge, experience, and the energy and the vision to carry the party forward, you are open to throw in your name in the hat. When I threw my name in the hat, I am not contesting Fred. I am contesting to take this province to the next level. I'm contesting to get Gauteng to be ruled by a DA machinery. That is the reason I'm contesting. I am not doing a performance appraiser, not at all. I am looking at the opportunity and I intentionally and deliberately want to work on reducing the trust deficit that exists between politicians and the voters. And I also want to focus on growing the party and growing our voter base.
What will you do then if you are indeed appointed or elected as the chairperson of the DA in Gauteng, given that you are a former speaker of the city of Tshwane and a lot has said just about the ailing service delivery under the coalition that was led by the DA there? What will you do differently?
The fact that one has gotten a real life experience about coalitions, we bring to the fore the opportunities to train and prepare ourselves through the Ready to Govern process. That means that we'll have better prepared candidates that will go into those governments. Secondly, even putting together those governments, it matters how we put together those governments. And thirdly, it matters as well how we, as a DA machinery, are going to agitate for change and make sure that we even reach out to the constituents that we hardly have meaningful conversations with. Let me illustrate what I mean. We have a middle class, 7 million middle class people in the country. We hardly have meaningful engagements. We just pass our message to them, but we never engage meaningfully with them. And when we do that, and they appreciate the policy and the vision of the DA, they will be able to vote for the DA in Gauteng, and automatically they will take that message even to the rural provinces where they come from. And as well, there are mothers, cousins, and they have nephews, this target market of young people that are yet registered, those are the parents of those people whom will be able to talk to them even in their homes. So it is very
the young people are important and reaching to those families. I have to move on to Fred Nell, the current chair, and of course wants to retain that position for another 3 years. Why?
Well, we started on a fantastic journey in Gauteng and got a great strategy going that we want to use to unseat the ANC in the province. That work is not completed. I want to take it all the way, and we want to take it all the way to 2026, where we're not just in coalition governments in local government, but where we can win outright majorities in Gauteng local governments as well.
What are you going to do differently? There is some sort of a decline when it comes to the Democratic Alliance that we saw in 2019, as well as the local government elections in 2021. What will you do differently now this time around if you are to be elected?
It's not about doing stuff differently now. We already made the changes since 2021, after the 2021 election. So we did a huge introspection and we've made a lot of changes that has put the party on the road of success already. And the polling shows it. There's in our internal polling shows a very, very close race between the ANC and the DA in Gauteng. External polling shows exactly the same thing. And so we've been successful in turning the party around in the province, and but we need to grow it even further.
All right, thank you very much. Fred Nell, the current and outgoing chair, and then depending on the voting that's currently happening this very moment, he'll find out if he is to retain that position. Of course, closely contested by Katlego Matebe, the former speaker of the city of Tshwane. We should know just after 3 o'clock. In fact, well, that's when the voting themselves will be done. And then just after 4 o'clock is when we expect that announcement.
All right, Aviwe, thank you so much indeed for your time. That's eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila out in Boksburg, Ekurhuleni, where the DA is having their elective congress. And we'll speak to him as and when there is any developments there.